Welcome to Confluence Conversations. My name is Dr. Leslie Muhammad, and I will be your host for today. I am so thrilled to welcome a remarkable group of students and leaders, representatives from Confluence Academies, Live for Life Academy, and Normandy High School. Each of these students serve as an advocate in their community and will share the actions they're taking within their schools. We're also joined today by each one of the representatives from school, and I would love to take an opportunity to allow yourself to introduce yourselves and your partnership in this.
My name is Javante Hughes. I'm a senior at Confluence Preparatory Academy and the president of Educators for Gun Safety.
My name is Ryan Bronner. I am a junior in Normandy High School, and I came to talk about what I feel about gun violence and life violence.
My name is Armani Howard. I am the senior class president at Live for Life Academy.
Very good. Welcome. Can you all talk to me a little about what really inspired you to get into any conversations dealing with gun safety?
What inspired me to talk about gun safety was the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, saying everybody come together and fight for this one thing, and how it's just too much crime, too much killing everywhere and stuff. So it kind of made a difference in my life. This is not right. This is not how we should be living, right? We shouldn't be living having to worry about violence in the world, because we should feel safe in our community. We should feel like we're protected in our community.
Javante, what are your thoughts on that?
I definitely agree with him. I've experienced gun violence, not just in my family, but just friends as well. I've had friends pass away from gun violence in their community, as well as one of my older cousins passed away from something that she wasn't involved in, a gun violence issue. And that's what brought me to this program. Once I heard of it at Confluence Preparatory Academy, I got involved in it as soon as I could to see if I could try to make some type of difference before I leave for college.
Very good. Armani?
Yeah, I agree with what they're saying. It's just gun violence is just a big thing in St. Louis, right? And so even if I haven't personally experienced it, right, you hear stories all the time, just people, innocent bystanders around our age, just getting hit by stray bullets. I mean, it's just unfortunate. So I just feel like these type of conversations should be had just to bring awareness, because some people honestly may not know the dangers of guns. They just know to protect themselves.
So all of you all were involved in the Movement Not Moment. What was that like for you? Tell me what your experiences and your thoughts were that day when you were taking a part of that march.
For me, I didn't partake in the march. I had tests that day. I couldn't partake in it, but I did go to the meeting they had beforehand, and I got to meet the Normandy and Live for Life students that were also advocating for gun violence, as well as adults that were in those schools and other programs as well, that shared their stories and what got them started and how they're making a difference. It really showed me that we're not the only ones fighting for a change in our community, and that meant a lot to me. I don't feel like I have to hold some weight on my own to try to make a difference on my own. I know I have people with me with their own abilities and specialties that can help improve on this issue.
Okay.
I also didn't participate in the Movement Not Moment March, but I did have friends who went to that field trip, and to them it was just a powerful moment because everybody was coming together. And not often do you see youth and teens coming together to stand for one thing, honestly. Most would just set it off to the side or stay quiet. We actually expressed, we opened, we made the world hear us, and we went everywhere. We was on Instagram, the news, everywhere.
Yeah, same kind of thing. I wasn't particularly there, but I just really heard just the word of mouth. It was just very powerful, right? I mean, Live for Life, Cardinal Ritter, all these schools is just primarily Black students, just the youth just there together, and then, yeah, it was just I just heard that. I'm really? Cardinal Ritter and Live for Life walking somewhere together? That don't even,
Very interesting. I really think about how that has inspired you all. Looking at the youth today and knowing that you're coming together collectively to make a change within your community, how has that helped you within your leadership skills in this movement?
For a while, I was like real quiet, right? And I don't really see myself as a quiet person. Like behind the scale, I'm more open to talking about what I want to talk about. But like having that, like to look back on, and it was just it kind of like helped me be able to express more, right? Because I could also share a topic that could touch somebody else, or like that could be good information for somebody else. So that kind of gave me like life into being able to express of what I want to feel, of what I want to change.
It really reminded me of how important it is to grow with other people and not just yourself. Being able to come together with student my age and talk about how we feel and what we've done. It's just like, not only do I get to share my experiences and what I know, I get to hear theirs and grow from that as well. It feels like we're all growing together. We're making a change in our community. And then once we get older and we're the adults of the community, we all have that connection to where we all work towards this change that's happening now.
Yeah, just getting the understanding of our peers, right? And just working with each other to just build something, right? And just trying to, just just understand multiple points of views with certain things, because like I said, I personally may not have experienced gun violence, but I know my closest friend have. So his idea on that is a lot different than what I would see that as. And so just get those point of views and just work with those and just try to build stuff,
And knowing that all of you all have been touched in some kind of way dealing with gun violence, talk to me a little bit about projects or events or things that you've been in part of that support your wish or your desires to see gun safety become a priority in our community.
Educators for gun safety, we've been doing various things and taking different approaches to countering the gun violence issue. One thing that stood out to me that we did was we went to Jefferson, went to the Capitol, and got to talk with, I know we talked to Governor Kehoe and some other people that are in charge that can make the big movements. We got to talk to them and really gain an understanding of what they're doing for the gun violence issue and why it's so hard to pass laws, even though the issue is prevalent for us. And I think coming to that understanding helped us try to counter it in a different way. So now instead of focusing on a legal law type of way to change it, we're focusing more on community-based things like nurturing younger people on the importance of gun safety and their mental health, because like we said, the gun isn't the problem, but the person is. So if it's so hard to get the guns removed, then we'll just work on the people in the community.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree, because I don't think that like guns should be like disregarded and like should be banned, because at the end of the day, it's still protection needed. I think guns should be in the right person's hands and stuff. And I think mostly gun violence comes from the mental health, comes from what the other person experienced in the inside.
What would you like to see happen? What are some things that or steps that you think your peers and you could to address the issue?
I would like to see more young men and women coming together and talking about what they're going through, being more open with what's going on inside their head. I feel like a lot of the youth bottle up what they go through, whether it be something at school or in their homes, just in their community. They bottle it up and end up doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I want to see people my age start coming together and making those connections to where they can express themselves to their friends and the right people. So like learning how to help other people and learning how to help themselves mentally. That way no one's really bottling up things inside and exploding one day.
Armani, what are your thoughts about that? What actions would you like to see take place?
I kind of agree with what he said in the sense of just, like I said, just work together with people, like, and just so like older people they have already experienced certain things, they have more of a outlook on it. So they have more experience because they're a little bit older. But just so they have to help the younger people be able to express that, because it's like everybody has experienced something with gun violence, right? Like something. It could be literally you just lived on the street and somebody got shot up at the block, like up the street, somebody got shot or killed or whatever the case may be. Like you are affected some way, somehow, even though it may not be directly, it affects you and it still has an impact on your mental health and how you may operate with certain things. You may not go on certain streets because of the danger that may be on that street. So,
Ryan, what do you think some suggestions of actions and steps that can be taken to help our community?
So I think for me, I need more people to be louder because people won't talk unless somebody else talk, right? People won't start making moves happening unless somebody else make moves happen. I need people to come out first and be like, hey, we need to stand for this. If you gonna ride with me, ride with me. If you not, that's cool. But we need something to be done, right? And like to talk first and stuff that could like show you that you a powerful messenger, right? And you have like the entity to do this thing like by yourself or with people, like because of you being able to like come out first, that means you're strong in the head. You have like some type of strong bone in you to be able to get through this or get through this issue.
So let me ask you all this question. How do you see or how can parents and communities become more involved and support the movement?
I think it's a lot of fear in parents when it comes to gun violence and like schools and violence in general. I think the fear should kind of be a little bit shooken and more so of, okay, I'm going to do this for my child, right? Because I'm going to always keep my child protected. I feel like more parents should, instead of going to plan B, continue like working your plan A with your child. And like parents need to come together amongst parents too, because not too many parents like you see come together about a situation of like violence and guns. They're more so afraid in the inside because of the lives of their child.
Marnie, you were saying that adults have more insight or they've experienced more things. What things do you think they can do to help with the movement or the charge that you are working towards to make our community safer, to have an opportunity where people are working with their mental health, or what we would call being able to have an open environment to talk about things? What do you think they could do to help with this?
I would say number one is practice just gun safety themselves, right? Because I know personally, my parents, they do have firearms, and so it's just like for that to be as easily accessible, it's just kind of, it has this stigma to it to where weapons are just okay to have, and for protection reasons, but it's like how you use that is how that can be dictated. But also, work with the schools, right? I know at Live for Life, we have a safety have a whole safety unit now, Hawk Safety, right? So it's just when you come in, you will be checked, like everybody, students, parents, everything like that, to make sure that the whole school environment is safe. It's just you have to work with your communities with what you have.
I think parents have to teach themselves how to teach their children what it means to be safe when they go outside, what that looks like. I know Educators for Gun Safety, we're planning on starting something where we're educating parents on how to manage their kids' mental health, and not just when your kid goes outside, not just saying, oh, be safe, but let them know what it means to be safe and how to be safe, where they should and shouldn't go, what they should and shouldn't be doing, how to act and react to certain situations. And I know with children's mental health, most children's mental health comes from a home or community issue. I feel like a lot of parents don't recognize that the things they are doing could be affecting their child in a way that can't be physically seen because it's an internal issue for that child. So I feel like parents take more effort in learning how their actions affect their children, then we'll have less children going out and doing the actions they're doing outside of their home.
Very good. I was thinking when you were sharing earlier about the mental health aspects, what can students do? How can the students make a difference? What things can they provide in educating schools and neighborhoods about gun safety?
With students, the main thing we can do is speak up. And that's more, I know it's like the stereotypical thing you say, like, oh, just speak up. A lot of people see it as, oh, well, you can, but it won't really make a difference. But if enough voices are coming and saying it's an issue, then the adults and the people that really can help us make those changes, they have no choice but to respond. They're going to have to listen. When 80% of your student body is saying that this is an issue, they have to respond to that issue. So speaking up about it, and then once one student speaks up, another speaks up, and it spreads like wildfire. It spreads. Now every student is speaking up, and once, as a student, you have those bonds. You have friends and people that you've bonded with. If you can be that friend to where you know how important mental health is and notice things in your friends, just reaching out to them, you might find some stuff out about that friend that you never knew about them. Something they've been holding in for years and years. You could be the person they open up to, and now you may not know it, but you could have just saved that child's life.
I think what students could do is find like coping skills, like new coping skills and stuff, and instead of like because for kids, right, if they've grown up, like he said, like from parents having firearms around the house, they'll grow up thinking that it's okay to carry one, right? And a lot of adults tell their child, like, make sure you're protected always, all the time when you leave the house or whatever. And sometimes that don't always gotta be the case, right? It's different solutions in everything, right? So I think it should be better like problem solving skills for students to like work through that issue.
Yeah, I agree. We just got to speak up. And like you said, also find coping mechanism, just both of them. But mainly just speak up. Like if you know something or if you know somebody that has dealt with something, right? And just try to find that middle ground to where it's comfortable to make awareness about this stuff and speak up about your experiences, because there's certain experiences that we all carry that are just, very interesting, and it spreads awareness, like it's like, I just know for me personally, like I know I live on the south side where I used to, and in my alley, I was coming back from the gas station and I just heard gunshots, and then my mama, she ran out the house and then came down the sidewalk and she's like, "Ooh, get in the house." I'm like, "What's going on?" Like I just heard shots, but that's normal. That's essentially normal. So I'm not panicking about it. I'm just like, it's whatever. Like, it's not near me. I'm not finna worry about it. Whole time, somebody just got shot behind my garage. So it's just we all carry experiences where it's just like, and it's this certain trauma that you just carry with you. You may not even know it half the time, So just speak up on these things and just make awareness of it.
So knowing that you all are thinking about discussing mental health, traumatic issues, informing parents, educating students to talk and not to stay recluse, or having that opportunity to have those safe places to speak, what challenges, or have you had any challenges in this effort or movement or making a change around gun safety that you personally have experienced, whether it's in your schools or in the community when you're speaking out and wanting to make those changes?
Sometimes it's just backlash from people not wanting to change. It's in the sense of I ain't gonna lie, grown people are stubborn. Like when they when they are set on something, and like with weapons especially, they don't want to necessarily change that and just be like, no. Like even if you go, I can go home and tell my mama right now, the dangers of a gun, but it's like whatever. Like I'm gonna still carry my weapon because I feel like this is something, she feels like that's something that she may need to do, right? It's just a very stubbornness to it. It's like they don't necessarily want to change things. So there has to be a want to change from the people above us, the generation above us, so we can make that change as well, because that stubbornness will carry over to us.
I think for it not being a change for a very long time, people done got comfortable into that change. So when you try to go talk about changing it or whatever, they not gonna agree with you because that's what it's been for them like the whole entire time. Like they gonna look at you like you trying to change something like different and stuff. You trying to like, I don't know, because every time I try to like raise awareness or like get like the ball rolling of, hey, we should stop using these guns, right? We should let that be handled by authority. Students don't really care. They're just knowing what I still do my own thing. Not just students, like what you said, like grown people or stuff. They will go with their first mind. If that's their first mind, they will go with it. And like this, they really don't listen for real.
So, in speaking of that, what do you think next steps should be about educating our community or getting involved in goals or partnerships or projects with other community organizations?
I think with the communities that are already trying to make changes in the community, we should reach out to those students and parents in our schools. So, for example, like the organizations have students from the schools. All those students have guardians. We could start with getting the guardians of those students to come in and telling them about what we're doing, how we're doing it, what we're trying to do, and what they could be doing to help. And then naturally, I know at least my mom, they go and gossip. They're going to go and talk to their people, their friends at work or their relatives. Like, oh, yeah, my son or my daughter is doing this. And they had me come in, just spreading the word and getting that awareness going. Then once more people are hearing about it, once more people they hear about it having in the back of their head. Now, once we do something to make a change is, oh, I heard of it. Like, oh, I know about that. I heard about that. And they going around, did you know that? Just spreading the word. That could be the first step to making a major change. And it'll be real small at first, but a lot of small things add up over time.
So what I hear you say is taking small steps, starting within our own personal community, meaning in our schools with the students, connecting with those parents and starting there with educating them. What are some other ideas that you all have?
I think we need more moments to happen back to back and not just monthly gap in between the next time we do something or a yearly gap in between the next time we do something. I feel like if we able to stay consistent on spreading the word and the powerful word, then we could make something happen.
So Ryan, what I hear you saying is basically calendaring out events and things that we could talk about as groups, whether it's in the school or with the community, and making a change happen with action and not just a movement.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
What do you think about all of this, Armani?
Yeah, I agree with what they're saying. But kind of like I said earlier, I would just say work with the schools. I feel like there's a lot of schools in St. Louis that are becoming more aware of the situations that the children deal with outside of school. And so they try to assist as much as they can. I feel like just working with the schools as a parent, that'd be the easiest thing. And then from there, you can build up other things and other programs, because there's a bunch of stuff I heard that people just don't have the information on to know to be a part of, even if they wanted to.
So how do you hope that your work will inspire others to get involved?
I just hope that people will want to make a change and just want to be a part of stuff and just bring awareness to stuff. Like me doing this is just the first step in my, just kind of my idea on just making change and just doing stuff and just being a leader, right? This is going to be like my first, step towards other things. And after this, we can build up and just, hope that we can do more.
Yeah, I feel like my generation can lead into a better future because when people look back at our generation, right, they kind of talk about it a little badly, a little bit oh, y'all generation, all of this, all of that. But I feel like if we can make a something going for us, all in common, we could show people hey, they know what they doing, they got it, we gonna leave it up to them, right? They is gonna lead us to where we need to be and to where our safety needs to be.
Javante is the Educators for Gun Safety and Confluence Academies president. How do you hope your work will inspire other students or schools to get involved as well?
I hope to see people taking in what we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do, and what my peers are trying to do for Educators for Gun Safety for our community, really taking it in and taking note of the specific actions we're taking and thinking of ways to better it. I'm confident that the things that we're doing is slowly making a change, but I'm also confident that there are ideas that I don't know about or haven't thought about that would be a great way to increase the rate at which we're changing our community. And those ideas are going to come from people that are not me. It could come from people who are in middle school right now, who start high school next year, who might have their own ideas. If we're just spreading the word now into where Confluence, Normandy, Live for Life, and other high schools are starting their own programs with their own students. They have students coming in every year. They have new people coming to their schools every year, some throughout the year, every few months, a new transfer student just coming in and hearing about him like, oh, well, why haven't they done this? Or, oh, we could do this. Just stuff like that. It keeps it going. So I'm a senior now. I graduate next year. I won't be at Confluence. I'm still going to be doing things to make a change, but I won't be at Confluence. It's going to be someone else. It's going to be a new president, someone else leading, someone else filling in that role and using their own ideas to change the community. And now it's a combination of ideas from a bunch of different people in a bunch of different areas of the community. We're tackling it from multiple angles.
You all have many ideas about being change agents and having hope within your own generation to move forward. Talk to me about if you could send one message, just one message to other students about gun safety and community responsibility. What would it be?
Help us out. Like, we all not alone in this situation that we going. So I just say, help us out, man. Like, it's powerful subject because not just like grown people or like older people die from gun violence, like youth also like dies from gun violence. And I feel like if people like see that, help us.
Yeah, I would just say be proactive. Just be proactive and just want to change. Like, that's the biggest thing I feel like that can make everything a difference. Just want to change and just want to be different than the person before you, and look at your parents or whoever you have that are older than you in your family and just see that the stuff that they do that is negative, is wrong, and just try to be different from that. Speak
up and join the movement. That would be my message. If you see something going on, or maybe you don't see something going on, but you see people advocating for a change with the gun problem, even if you don't have experience, join it. Give them your ideas, even if is no harm in just telling them what you think they could be doing differently. It's no harm in that. Every program has its pros and cons. Most cons would be there could be more people. That will always be a con. There will always, well, it's a pro really. It's a pro. There can be more people. There will always be more people. Know that you are one of those people. No matter where you are, what experiences you have or don't have, you are one of those people that can say something. You have the ability to say something and do something.
Thank you for watching Confluence Conversations. Continue to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, or wherever you get your podcast information. Thank you for joining and have a wonderful day.